Hello G Nation, it's your host G, and we got a brand new character preview, this time for Bayley, the role model. Now before we get started, if you're not already a sub on my channel, make sure to do so and click that notification bell so that you're kept aware when I post new videos. Also, if you like the video, make sure to leave a like as well. Alright, so Bayley, she is a technician. We're going to see her at 5-star silver, not gold, because 5-star silver is the highest level of opponents we have on the road right now. We look at the card. Coach ability at 9,000 is Leech Gems do 2,200 more damage. Definitely a great coach for sure. Obviously just for limited Leech Gem users. Still a very damn good coach. Links with Woman Superstar, SmackDown, and Modern Era, and no gear. Alright, so first moveset we're going to have a look at is the Seated Armbar, 8 MP green move submission, color submission. Choose 4 gems to make into green submission gems and do 74.2k damage for 5 turns. All submission gems are on the gem board. Remaining sub-gems turn into immobile gems. The Running Knee, 5 MP yellow move, deals 65.7k damage and gain 6 green MP. And the Belly to Back Suplex, 7 MP yellow move, deals 71.5k damage and force your opponent to skip their turn for 2 turns. Now, pretty low cost moveset overall. If you follow me, you probably know by now, I am typically not a fan of characters that use immobile gems. I don't think I like one of them. This might be the first one, because she looks pretty damn good. Curious to see how it goes. First, it's a pretty decent submission right there. Pretty sure we're going to be able to do a lot with that. We're going to be using Kofi so that our yellow move starts ready. We're going to use Bray Wyatt so that our submission lasts 3 more turns. You could use Austin 316, or is it Angle Tech also, that increase the damage of the submission. But since we got multiple trainers that increase the damage of the submission, we're going to get more damage output if we just make it longer than if we increase it more but keep it at 6 turns. So that's why I'm going with Bray to increase the amount of turns instead. We're putting Bruno here so that it does 50% more damage and lasts 1 more turn. And I'm putting also Acro Shelton so that any color submission do 20% more. Another option would be Jay Uso Acrobat. He would also add 10% to the submission as well as 10% to the green move damage. Don't really need to boost the rest. I mean, there's nothing really to boost other than the submission. Also, the fact that it is a pretty cheap submission, like it costs 8, and it makes green submission gems. That means we can pretty much reload the submission every single turn. Unless we got a really bad board here, we should be able to reload the green submission every turn. Now we're only making 4 gems. I'm assuming it's going to be 5 at 5-star gold. The submission is going to be also more, so we do need a decent board to be able to reload it. But I don't think it's going to be an issue. Let's give it a shot. Now I do have the belt on right now. I put in cheap shot here. I got 2 armor and 2 furies. Ideally, I would probably go 4 armor just to make it harder for them to kick out. But I add a green fury move medal, which will be useful for other movesets we'll see later. So I got that on. So that green medal is maxed out as well as the one for gem damage. The rest is not. All right, let's try this. We're gonna go Bayley versus Bayley. Alright, so let's stun her. Means she's not gonna have the next 2 turns. Okay, now I need 2 green matches, so this is not a really good board, really. And I'm gonna have 1 that's gonna last for the damage, hopefully. Those 2 matches will fill my green, so I can use the sub again next turn. The fact that she's stunned, it's not even a big deal if she managed to break it off early, because I get to do it next turn anyway. She's out. She barely has any health left. She is still stunned, so she can't do shit. Remember, this is 126k for 9 turns. That's like 1.5 mil or something. Let's do the sub again. Now, I don't really need to reload it again. So let's just put it away from greens. And she's out. She didn't do anything, and she really had no chance. Alright, so that's pretty damn good. Let's have a look at something else. Alright, second move set for Bayley. It's gonna be the Bayley to belly suplex, 10 MP green move. Finisher deals 171.7k plus 16.1k bonus damage for every immobile gem and pin the opponent. The seated armbar, 8 MP green move. Color submission, choose 4 gems to make into green submission gems and do 74.2k damage for 5 turns while submission gems are on the gem board. Remaining sub gems turn into immobile gem. And a spine buster, 1 MP purple move, deal 33.5k damage and choose 3 columns to make into immobile gem. That's a pretty damn strong move at 1 MP cost. We're still going to be using that sub we just tried. Let's have a look at trainers. Now, trainers are going to be dependent a lot on the mode that you're going to be using them. For instance, right now we're doing tours. I have steel here. The most important thing is basically you want that armbar to be ready on the very first turn, and it costs 8. So your trainers, make them achieve you 8 green MP. So in this case, we're gonna have steel so that we start with 4 more. Obviously, the first turn we get 1 MP, so we're gonna have 5. And I have the perks on, which would give me an extra 3. I got my 8 right there. If you don't have the perks, well then you're probably gonna have to put someone like Breeze as a secondary to reach 7, and you're still short 1. You might be able to use Santa Hogan +1 if you have him high enough. If not, I'd say probably don't even bother with Breeze or with Santa Hogan, because you're going to be short and you're going to need a match. Although you could still use Breeze and you're going to be short 1, and at least it guarantees that you're going to be able to do it on the second turn. Same thing, for example, on Feud. There's no +3 perks there. That means you get 4 from Steel, 1 from your first turn, 1 from the extra perks for the Feud. So you're at 6 right there. You're missing 2. Well, you're probably going to want to use Breeze there to reach your 8. So think about that when you go for your trainers. In this case, I didn't need a secondary one. So I put in Rock so that my immobile gem do 35% more damage for that finisher right there. Now keep in mind, I do have a level 15 green metal here, which is going to whoop some serious asses. We're also going to have Hogan here so that immobile do 50% more damage. And I'm putting Bruno here to increase the submission damage by 50% and last 1 more turn. Just some extra damage, basically. But ideally, I would probably put Eddie, Latino Heat Eddie. That would also increase by 50% the immobile, but I don't have him, so I can't put him there. So this is what we're going to go with. Keeping the same setup for the belt, still have the cheap shot belt on. Don't really need any other kind because I'm mainly using green only, and that purple is 1, so I'll get it every turn anyway. Alright, so we got our sub and we got our purple move ready. Put it out of the way, that because all those greens are gonna get going. I'm gonna blow them up. Basically, that sub is our way to get the missing green we need to get the finisher going. Plus, in this case, I had so many of them that it actually even reloaded the sub. Alright, so we have a good amount that survived. Now we're going to be making more. Obviously, I'm going to go with the column that I'm not going to override them, but I'm going to need one extra column, so I'm going to one that has the least amount in it. And looking at this, we have a ton of immobile gem. We got what, like 1, 2, 3 full columns at 7. That's 21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have like almost 40 gems right there, and our finisher is going to do 414 plus 30k per immobile gem, so that should have hit like a truck. And that did her entire health. And she's out, so that is increasingly strong as well. Alright, let's look at something else. Our next moveset, we're pretty much watching for shits and giggles. It's basically to do the exact same thing we just did with the other moveset, but with more risks and more requirements. So let's try it. So it's a triple color. I don't typically like triple color moveset, except when there's one move that costs 1 and can be basically ignored the MP requirement, which is the case here. It's still going to be the Bayley, the belly, suplex, the spine buster, but we're replacing the submission with the running knee, which is a 5 MP yellow move, deals 65.7k damage, and gain 6 green MP. So it's basically another way to get our green MP for the finisher. Downside is you don't have anything that reloads the green, as opposed to the submission that pretty much reloads itself if need be. And you don't have anything to drop them down on their MP either. So it's more riskier, and also it requires more care for your trainers. For example, in this case, I'm not even using any MP trainer, but that's because I'm in tour and I got the perks. If you're infused or you don't have the perks, you're definitely going to need to put some MP trainers there. For example, right now I got the +1 from the first turn, I got the +1 from Hogan, that's 2, and I got the perks that give me 3, so I start at 5 of every color. The running knee costs 5, the belly to belly suplex costs 10. I'm gonna have 5 green, I get 6 green from this. My finisher is gonna be at 11, I need 10, and that's the first turn, I'm good. If that's not the case, you're probably gonna need to go double MP trainer, whether you're infused or don't have the perks on, because that way you're going to be able to get those 2 moves going. You'll need to replace both of these by Kofi and Steel if that's the case. So I'm using Rock to increase again my bonus damage. I'm going to be using Anki Tongman to reduce the damage of any color gem by 30%, which is probably already going to be impossible for him to kick out of the damage we're going to do, but I'm going to be reducing. But the downside, again, the reason I use Honky Tonk more than I'm probably not going to need it is that I'm going to be doing everything on the first turn, which means I'm only going to have 3 columns of the immobile gems, because I don't get to have another set of 3 on the second turn, because I'm not going to get on the second turn unless I'm not lucky. Let's try this. Now we're keeping the cheap shot plate here. You could use the heavy machination too, although if I remember well, that one is not when you, it's when you get yellow, it gives you green too. Would be better if it was the other way around. We're gonna get our green MP here. Now we're gonna place those out, and I'm actually gonna block him from getting that free turn right there. And well, not free turn, but like he would have a huge match with those yellow here. So I'm gonna prevent the computer from using those to kick out, because again, immobile gem are immobile. And now I'm gonna need the finisher, and we have 21 of those, doing an extra 29k plus the 413, and he's got 30% less chance to kick out, 30% less damage to kick out, and I got my my armor also doing another 20. That did about 1 million. And that's 1 million, that's pretty hard to get out of. So it is definitely working, but there's a lot of ifs involved with this moveset. Alright, let's look at something else. Alright, last moveset for Bayley. We're going to be using 2 moves we haven't used yet. First is the diving elbow drop. 5 MP green move, deal 57.3k damage and make 30 immobile gems into purple gems. The running clothesline, 5 MP purple move, deal 64.2k damage and increase your purple gem damage by 148% for 2 turns. Does not affect bonus damage. And a spine buster, 1 MP purple move, deal 33.5k damage and choose 3 columns to make into immobile gems. Now, trainers for that, again, this is optimal if you do have the perks on and you do have Hogan. Otherwise, you're going to need to use different trainers. In this case, I'm using, again, Honky Tonk, so it's going to be harder for him to kick out of the pin. I'm using sets so that my purple gem are going to do 35% more damage. But that is because I start with 5 MP of every color thanks to Hogan and the perks. If you don't have those 2, you're going to need to replace those 2 trainers by Woods and by Steel. I'm putting also Hogan here. You could go with someone like Lacey, for example, or I think, is it Macho also? Macho King that adds purple damage. I think basically anything that adds purple damage you can put there. I go with immobile because they're all going to be immobile turned into purples. So I'll get more out of that 50%, even if we have a few extra purples around connecting to it. The 50% to the big majority is going to be better than 35% on some extra, or 25% or whatever. We're going to try that one out. That's probably more of a tour build than a feud build. Obviously that is unless you get some row bonuses that increase like your purple or your starting MP or whatever. Alright, let's try this one out. Now this is... Now you would probably want to make, like, if I was to switch this instead of cheap shot, I would probably use a Phantom Phenom instead. I'm not gonna equip it now because, well, what the hell? Let's do it. For the Phantom Phenom. When I break 3 purple, I get 3 green. But the goal is to not get a second turn. But that would help recycling your green because you really don't have anything that gives you green. Alright, let's try that. Okay, so you want to place those where they match with some purple gems. Now you can try and extend this and like just like in this case, I know she's not going to get a first turn, so I could try just to burn my first turn and do more on my second, but we're not going to do that. Place this here, this way we're going to get 3 extra there. I could actually just put this one here, that way I'll get those 2. Now my purples are doing 11.5. The one with the immobile are doing 14.5. Now we're boosting our purple damage. Regular ones are doing 28.6. Immobile doing 36.1. Now we're converting all of those because there's 21 and we're converting 31 into purple. Let's see how much that does. Friendly, that's enough to win. I've got 1.1 million. And obviously with Honky Tonk, it's even harder to get out of that. But had she kicked out, I would have a problem because I don't have my move ready to do this a second time. So, not my favorite moveset. Right. But that's pretty much for all for Bayley. I'd say the first 2 movesets are probably my favorite. Probably the first one being my overall favorite. Second one, I'd say they're probably the order I made those is probably the order I like the moveset, really. But yeah, the first is definitely my favorite. I mean, it just flows really well and it's a guaranteed easy win. So that's it for Bayley. I'd say she's probably a top tier character, probably an unconventional top tier character because typically top tiers are faster than that. But in this case, it's more like the flow of the moves. Often you're going to need to reach a second turn, but they're not going to get a second turn themselves or even a first turn. So definitely a top tier character because even if they do get a turn, well, thanks to that sub, they're not going to do anything on their turn because they're not going to have any MP to do anything. So I'd say she's definitely a top tier character. I definitely want to get her. And probably the first character using Immobile Gem that I actually do like. So that's it, guys. That's Bayley right there. Thanks for watching. If you're not already a sub, make sure to do so to be kept aware when I post new stuff. Have any questions, ask them. And if you like the video, leave a like and share. See you guys. G up.